And just like that, everything changed for everyone. Bitcoin is on a tear. Happy Friday, everyone. Oh man, waking up today was probably one of the best wake ups ever, watching Bitcoin get back above 60,000. It's been long awaited for us. We held through all the crap, all the shit, and finally we came out clean on the other side, just like Andy Dufresne.
500 yards. That's the length of 5 football fields.
By the way, that's like my favorite movie, so just FYI. We are going to talk about some news. One big piece of news here is that the SEC is ready to approve the first Bitcoin Futures ETF. I don't actually know what a futures ETF is. I know what futures are, but I don't know how that's in an ETF. But I'm sure, in the derivative market, I'm sure they make it work. But this is big. This is big news, especially that the SEC is giving their stamp of approval on this. This is going to be huge. Now, there are multiple applicants to come in for a Bitcoin ETF, a Bitcoin-esque ETF. So there's still more to kind of come through. And I'm sure the floodgates are going to open after this first one. That's what happened in Canada. We got our first ETF and then we got another one, right? At least according to this article, they do say, however, in August this year, the SEC chair, Gary Gensler, we all know, said that he would favor allowing an ETF tied to the cash-settled Bitcoin futures traded on a regulated exchange, such as the Chicago Mercantile Exchange. Now, I don't know what other motives are behind this. I don't trust Gary Gensler for as far as I can throw him. But at the end of the day, having an ETF is going to be bullish, so I can't really harp too much considering we are getting this in the United States. Now, at the time they wrote this article, Bitcoin was trading at 59,400. We know that that's not the real price because right now Bitcoin has gotten the green light to go into price discovery with almost no supply in exchanges. I've been talking about this. We've been saying it, screaming it from the rooftops. There is a supply shortage. Even in September, the price was going down, but the supply was also going down, and Bitcoin was moving to long-term holders. I was screaming this because we are going back up to all-time highs, if not way, way higher in the very, very near future, considering right now Bitcoin is trading at approximately $61,000. Now, Whale Map actually commented saying price discovery shall commence soon, and they're saying that the threshold for price discovery is 59,000. That's a pretty fair trend line to kind of put in, and we see the supply consistently go down. So that supply squeeze is coming in. Now the question is, what's going to happen at 64,000? Are we going to get above our all-time high, or are we going to get slapped down and kind of make our way kind of tumble through? I do think we are most likely going to hit all-time high and most likely go into price discovery in the weekend. Now, I'm not guaranteeing anything. Nothing is guaranteed in investing in cryptocurrency. Please keep that in mind. And I'm also not a financial advisor, but there's a high likelihood chance that Bitcoin is going into price discovery at this point. We're seeing short liquidations come out. Bears are dropping like flies. Now the bulls are in charge. And as of right now, Bitcoin is trading at 61,381. We are looking at the weekly chart right now. If we take a look at the monthly, we can see how big this candle has been. Definitely outgrowing most of the candles that we've seen this year. Now, if we do look at the daily chart, we do see that girthy candle coming over here. So right now, everything's showing bullish. To see where they drew their trend line, they essentially you can kind of see where Bitcoin's been rejected at those points considerable times. But here, we're kind of getting this second opportunity, and we broke above it with a lot of force. So now we're higher than any other point in that Wyckoff distribution other than all-time high. We're basically fighting with all-time high, and the next layer of resistance is going to be around $64,000. So right now, that's exactly what we have to beat. Are we going to beat that? I actually think yes, we will. Maybe not today, but potentially tomorrow and probably Sunday, if not Monday, depending on how legacy markets open Monday. But I'll keep a close eye on that, and we'll talk about that on Coffee and Crypto tomorrow. So make sure you're showing up to that 11 a.m. It's good to keep Bitcoin in perspective as well, especially if you're big into altcoins, but you should not be overlooking some altcoins. Right now, we don't see a lot of movement with altcoins. We see Cardano sitting at $2.20. We see XRP at $1.14. We see Ethereum at 3,850, 3,860. And we see a lot of other tokens making a similar slow move, other than maybe Solana making a 7% move, roughly the same as Bitcoin is today. Why is that? Why is Bitcoin pumping and nothing else is? Because the market is so focused right now on Bitcoin. Once Bitcoin goes into price discovery, finds a new settlement price that it wants to stay at for a little bit, at that point, altcoins are going to pump. And it might be a good idea to start shifting some Bitcoin into some of those altcoins at that time. Now, I'm not saying to go with your whole bags. We're going to 150K for Bitcoin at least. But right now, we have a lot of bullish sentiment just for Bitcoin, and altcoins are going to lag behind for a little bit. That's often why we talk a lot about Bitcoin, especially when times are bad. We have to talk about Bitcoin because the market is really driven by Bitcoin. Right now, there's no way to avoid that. The market cap is sitting above $2.5 trillion, according to TradingView. If we take a look at CoinGecko, it is showing at almost $2.6 trillion, about $100 billion off. I don't know what the difference is, whether or not they're excluding some tokens. I'm going to trust CoinGecko because I assume CoinGecko has a lot of micro caps that TradingView doesn't have. So $2.6 trillion is not a little bit of money, and the difference of $100 billion is pretty drastic. So at this point, what do I think we're going to end this at? That's really, really hard to say. I mean, as soon as we get into price discovery, it really is anyone's game. We could go way up. We could get rejected at some point and go down. Most likely what we'll see is probably some resistance at key levels, being prices that we've never seen before, but they're round numbers. The reason why I'm saying round numbers, so for example, $70,000. The reason why $70,000 is a barrier is because it's going to hold an emotional barrier. Remember, all these markets are all based on human emotion. The reason why I say that is because humans are buying and selling. We drive the market completely. So when people see a nice round number, they're going to want to sell, or they want to short because they think the market's going to go down. At this point, the bulls are in charge, but the bears could definitely try to regain control at a higher level. But again, I think there's just so much momentum here. I don't see that happening. And if we take a look at the volume, we really don't have a lot of volume that's instigating this. To kind of prove my point, you see how much volume we had when we were pumping here. We don't have nearly as much, even though we made this huge rise. And a lot of people might ask why. Why is this happening when we had all this volume here, but we don't have this volume here and we're still going up? That's because of the supply shortage. That's because there's not enough Bitcoin and not enough Ethereum on exchanges. The supply shock is going to happen and these prices are going to go up and the bears are going to get blown out. And that's just how it is. So right now, watch Bitcoin, watch Ethereum, because these two cryptocurrencies are going to move huge over the weekend. And most likely, once they calm down, once Bitcoin especially calms down, you are going to see a lot of movement from a lot of altcoins. Also, some top movers through the week, just some honorable mentions here. The ones that we know is Polkadot up with 26%, Harmony One with 25.3. We have Matic at 16.9. Again, I mentioned that you should pay attention to where Matic is going, especially for layer 2 Ethereum. And then we have Bitcoin sitting at 14%. So obviously there is health in the market. Bull market is back on and we're heading into a very green weekend. It is push day, so I'm going to get out of here. If you did like this content, go to give me a like and subscribe to the channel for more crypto news and content. And of course, happy hodling.